Hello, my name is Joe, and in this presentation I will discuss the effective use of authentic, diverse representations to combat problematic books within the realm of youth literature. To begin, it is necessary to establish the importance of building a diverse collection of youth literature in any library context, whether school or public. Quality, diverse literature gives voice to marginalized and underrepresented groups. We must recognize that true diversity includes varied perspectives of race, religion, sexual orientation, ethnicity, gender, and differing abilities, which should be evident in aspects of the story beyond minor character traits. It is vital that diverse representation be authentic. Insider perspectives grant authenticity, and those writing stories outside of their personal experience must conduct proper research to ensure accuracy. A vast body of research has shown the positive impact of curating a diverse collection that both reflects its users and exposes readers to experiences outside of their own, providing opportunities to increase understanding and empathy. Research has also shown the negative effects of literature that does not accurately portray diversity. Inaccurate representations reinforce and perpetuate harmful stereotypes. We must be cautious of misrepresentations and omissions. It is paramount that libraries cultivate collections that exemplify their claimed recognition of the importance of diverse materials and their commitment to intellectual access for all. However, in the pursuit of diversifying collections, challenges in the call for banning certain titles occur on a regular basis across the country. The American Library Association provides resources regarding banned and challenged books, including the graphics displayed here from their collected data regarding challenges in 2019. Exploring the common reasons for challenges, it is clear that diverse books are most at risk, books that defy the white heterosexual Christian norm and instead represent a broad range of perspectives and experiences. Although we live in a country that touts our freedoms, these censorship attempts demonstrate violations of intellectual freedom. And while diverse books struggle against the threat of suppression, books long deemed classics often still hold a place of prominence on library shelves and in classroom curricula, despite their perpetuation of outdated, incorrect, and harmful ideas and stereotypes. According to the ALA's interpretations of the Library Bill of Rights, library professionals are responsible to defend against challenges that limit a collection's diversity of content. Removing diverse titles diminishes stories and is nothing short of censorship. However, while it is recognized as censorship that diverse books are being challenged and removed from libraries and schools across the nation, on the other end of the spectrum, overly zealous librarians who encounter problematic classics and simply remove them from their collections for no reason other than their personal issues with the items fall into the trap of censorship as well. Taking a closer look at the ALA's banned book statistics, there has been an increase in challenging certain classics for their problematic qualities, but removing access to books is not the solution. Hinton upholds the Library Bill of Rights and argues that even books that are offensive to some people need to be available. Readers have the right to read what they wish, and it is the responsibility of library professionals to protect this intellectual freedom. Defending intellectual freedom is a battle in which library professionals engage on a daily basis, whether they realize it or not. The Library Bill of Rights addresses intellectual freedom and the necessity for libraries to provide access to all information and all points of view. Knox asserts that book challenges are rooted in a strong belief in the power of books to introduce people to new ideas and to change their minds. Books have long been recognized as instruments for intellectualism because ideas matter, and books, as the vehicles for ideas, hold great power. In endorsing intellectual freedom, Brandon and Dawkins contend that librarians' curation of a diverse and balanced collection helps readers develop critical thinking, expand personal knowledge, formulate personal beliefs, and become more inclusive. The connection between diversity and censorship cannot be denied, and defending intellectual freedom in turn advances diverse and marginalized voices. Library professionals are gatekeepers of information and must recognize the responsibility that comes with this role. Applying Kurt Lewin's gatekeeping theory to the library context, Steele defines library gatekeepers as those who control what information enters, exists, and is removed from a collection. Acknowledging these gatekeepers and their power is essential for avoiding censorship, which can occur at any stage of the information life cycle. Jameson notes that while librarians purport to defend intellectual freedom, in practice they tend more towards censorship in regard to potentially controversial materials. Personal beliefs and fear of controversy can affect the decision-making processes in libraries, but providing learners with materials that reflect ideas that are different from their own helps grow readers' understanding of the world. Critical thinking and information literacy are skills developed through the process of evaluating different types of information sources. Users must have access to these various sources to develop these skills, and freedom to access and share information is the right of every reader. Librarians must actively endorse this intellectual freedom that they claim to espouse, regardless of their personal ethics. If the solution is not to remove harmful classics, what then can library professionals do to combat problematic books? First and foremost, we can make available and actively promote quality diverse literature. We can direct users to diverse alternatives or companion pieces to study alongside problematic classics. Additionally, librarians, educators, and parents bear the responsibility to engage in discussion. If negative stereotypes and inaccurate representations are not pointed out and discussed, then, as Naidu and Park assert, children internalize the messages as fact, which results in negative identity development of those being stereotyped and an indoctrination with misinformation that will sustain inaccuracies that could otherwise be deconstructed and corrected. Let's take a closer look at how these solutions can be practically enacted. We must ask, what is problematic? Are we oblivious to problems that fall within our blind spots? What is authentic and quality diverse literature? This is where professional resources come in. We can't read every book, nor can we understand every experience, but we can turn to those who have read the books in question, to those who do understand certain experiences. Disrupt Texts, We Need Diverse Books, American Indians in Children's Literature, and Social Justice books provide comprehensive lists of diverse book recommendations, resources for educators and library professionals, and specific discussion guides for problematic literature. San Francisco Public Library maintains a list of items in their collection that perpetuate negative and harmful stereotypes, but continue to circulate due to high demand. Each of the titles listed includes a disclaimer explaining why these titles are harmful, which encourages constructive conversation with readers. In school library journals challenging the Classics series, writers analyze various problematic classics and offer new alternatives to these works. Some resources do their work not in actively attacking problematic books, but in celebrating and promoting diversity. Kibuko was begun by Newbery Award-winning author Linda Sue Park to collect kids' books by Korean Americans for the purpose of bringing attention to the wealth of quality books by these Asian authors. Additionally, many trusted sources provide areas of evaluation for guidance in ensuring quality diverse options are being selected and promoted. These are just two examples of such lists. Danielle Clayton of We Need Diverse Books exhorts librarians and educators to interrogate why classics are classics. For these books that have been taught for decades, analysis and evaluation are essential. In an op-ed for School Library Journal, author Padma Venkatraman explains her approach to classics. She says, "I'm not advocating we ban classics. Classics are undoubtedly examples of excellent writing, or they wouldn't have survived the test of time. I'm just suggesting we delay the study of classics until readers are mature enough to question, debate, and defy problematic assumptions." Marva Hinton adds, "It's important to allow the canon to grow and evolve. What texts can we bring into our community that will help us grow?" The same themes seen in many classics taught in school curricula can be found in diverse stories that resonate with today's readers. Linda Sue Park published Prairie Lotus as a direct response to the problematic Little House on the Prairie series. Brian Pinkney created a new retelling of The Little Mermaid featuring Melody, a black mermaid. For those required to read The Catcher in the Rye, Darius the Great is Not Okay and Felix Ever After feature protagonists struggling to find their identity and facing internal and interpersonal challenges not so different from Holden Caulfield's. Both Marrow Thieves and Brian Vaughan's graphic novel Why the Last Man share similar themes and plots to classic dystopian stories such as 1984 and The Handmaid's Tale. In conclusion, the recent announcement of Dr. Seuss Enterprises discontinuing print of 6 problematic titles and the varying reactions that ensued prove the undeniable timeliness and relevance of this topic. In time, society can strive to raise and educate a new generation that recognizes the issues in problematic text with the hopes of diminishing the demand for books long deemed classics. As Padma Venkatraman admonishes, let's curate books that can become future classics. I'll end with a quotation from Rudine Sims Bishops, who said, "Books alone cannot change the world, but offering quality, authentic, diverse literature can help change attitudes towards difference and allow humans to celebrate both differences and similarities."